Hi, my name is Stacy Sanseverino from KW Philly and the Philly Living Team, and welcome to my Buyer 101 guide for the first-time home buyer. So if you're watching this, you may or may not have already set up a buyer strategy session with me. So if you've not, please email or text me so you can set one up. It's complimentary, of course. And then also, once I've done that, or you've done that, I'll send you the full Buyer 101 guide this presentation is based off of. And then I'll email you an intake form to fill out so that when we meet, I can be prepared with closing estimates, a search for you, and we can get straight down to business. In the meantime, if you'd like, you can also download my KW search app. The one thing I love about this app, over Zillow, for example, is that if you click on a button, it connects to me rather than selling your data to the highest bidding realtor. So the link is right there, and it will appear at the end of the presentation in case you don't get it right now. And also I have a HomeKeeper vendor list. So basically all my preferred vendors I store in one resource for you, HomeKeeper, so you can download that app as well. That one's an easier one to remember. I have my little guide here that you will get, so don't mind me if I refer to it every once in a while. All right. So, dear new buyer client, so I want to welcome you to my real estate family. So I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been a landlord in Philly for 20, and my goal is always to build that long-lasting advisory relationship with my clients. Ultimately, it's my job to help you make a great decision. Whatever house you buy, it doesn't matter to me, just as long as you're happy. And it's based on mutual trust and respect. So I'm really here to serve your needs and help you get what you want. And of course, you are my top priority before and after the sale. Just today, I got an email from a client that was asking me, should we do this thing with our stairs, based on resale later, based on our lifestyle today. So feel free to reach out to me before and after the sale. I'd be happy to help you always make great decisions with regard to your real estate. And again, call on us year after year for help. And of course, parties and workshops. Who doesn't want to come to a party or a workshop? So we hold quarterly workshops. Usually the topic is investment real estate, which when you're buying a home, that is absolutely 100% an investment. And sometimes we just have parties just for the heck of it. In December, we went to the river rink and we went ice skating, and it was super fun. So you can count on me to do the following as your buyer's agent. Number one, we're going to have that initial buyer strategy session where we get to know each other and I get to know your goals and your needs. You're also going to get financing options from me. So I'm not just going to send you to a lender and say, come back and tell me what they told you. We're going to actually look at the numbers based on what you've saved, what you want to spend monthly, and what properties are available to you to help you anticipate what kind of loan option you'll need, and whether you'll need things like a seller assist, which will then impact your ability to negotiate credits and repairs during inspections. So we'll discuss all of those things together. Of course, I'll send you the automatic listings, which our listings are the source of all the listings. So you don't need to search on Zillow or Trulia anymore. You can search on my KW app. You can also create your client portal in the Bright MLS system, the multiple listing service. And you can even heart houses that you like so that I know that we can go and see those houses. And of course, I'll be the point person for all your needs. So you'll never need to call a listing agent or a for sale by owner. You'll always go through me, and I'll make sure that you have all the right professionals to help you throughout the process. Pricing, so we will absolutely make sure that you don't overpay for a house. So we'll look at the area, sales to make sure that the seller, what a reasonable seller can expect, and then I'll advise you how to proceed, whether you're the only offer in or there's multiple offers on the table. Of course, we'll negotiate the contract for you, so there's lots of terms in addition to the price, like settlement date, deposit, inspections, etc. So I'll be negotiating those for you to create win-win agreements. And then lastly, agreement of sale to closing. So once you're under contract, we have a transaction coordinator that'll send you out a task of dates and timelines and deadlines that you need to meet, and we'll make sure that you have reminders every step of the way so nothing falls through the cracks. So basically, if you decide to hire us, our mutual commitment is as follows. First, we'll discuss to meet your goals and needs. Then you'll decide if you'll hire me to represent you. Then we'll e-sign buyer agency relationship agreement, and that puts you at top of mind. I know it makes me know that you're serious and I'm serious and committed to you, and gives you our undivided loyalty and representation. And the freedom to visit open houses and sign in with my name so that you don't have to give out your information every time you go visit an open house, which protects your information. And if you're satisfied with us, which is always my goal, I would love a referral. I love referrals. My business is based almost entirely on referrals and repeat clients. So I'd love to count you among those clients that call on me year after year, to help them buy, sell, then buy another, or just buy more. I'd love to work with you for the years to come. So we have a consultative team approach. So essentially, we're providing you options so that you can make a great decision. We have fiduciary responsibility to you. That means that we're answering your questions in a paragraph, not just a sentence. We're going to give you all the information that we can dig up to use it for your advantage. We're going to help you find the right home for you in your timeline. And of course, we'll notify you of properties as soon as they come on the market. And then also, like I said, you have that client portal, but we'll also notify you of coming soon properties that I may hear of or talk to other agents in my office. We have quite a large office, number 1 in Philly, and I'll be, looking out for opportunities for properties for you. So ultimately, we're here to serve you. That's me, Stacy. And then I'm here to show homes by appointment. So you want to reserve your showing tour in advance because some homes need 24 hours notice. And also because evenings and weekends might book up earlier, you'll want to reserve those if you need evenings and weekends. If daytimes works for you, we'll still want to at least have that scheduled a few days out in advance. And of course, we might need to see a hot property fast, so just know that I'm available to do that with you. Hannah Park is the Director of Client Relations, so she's there to help with some of the paperwork stuff. And Erin Whitman is our Operations Manager and Transaction Coordinator, so she's the one helping us get to closing seamlessly. Here's a basic timeline of the buying process. So as you can see, there's 3 major legs of the transaction. On the left, you'll see the buyer side. So after your offer is accepted, that's day 0, we'll apply for your mortgage, you'll get an appraisal, and by day 30, we're looking for that lender to approve of your loan, you and the property. On the right-hand side, you see that the seller has their own things to do. So you'll order the title because it's to protect you. The seller will clear the title, and then you'll pick the day and time of closing, and then we'll go to closing on that day. And in the middle, you'll see the inspection period. So the inspection period usually is about 10 days, then 5 days, then 2 days. So you'll do your due diligence, negotiate with the seller, and then make your final decision. And you'll notice before and after that inspection period, we have a first deposit, which is usually due by day 3, and a second deposit, which is usually due by day 18. And then we'll do the final walkthrough and then the day of settlement. And on the right-hand side, you could see the timing of payments, all of which we will review together in your buyer strategy session. So some awesome perks for the Philly living buyers. You don't pay a buyer's agent commission. So we have a small nominal $4.95 conveyance fee. Ultimately, though, my commission, my pay is being paid by the listing agent. So you'll get a team working for you for the price of one agent. Also, we can time your purchase so that you get 1 or 2 months with no rent or no mortgage payment. That depends on if you've paid your last month's rent, and if you buy and move out in the same month or when those sequences happen. We'll discuss that in person. And then because there are tax benefits with buying a home and owning a home, you'll be able to spend more on the home than you can on rent. So if you spend $1,500, let's say, on your rent, you'll be able to spend a lot closer to $2,000 on your mortgage because of those tax benefits and still have the same net take-home pay. And another great option is that there are some really low down payment programs, and together with a seller assist, you might not need more than 3 to 3.5% plus a couple $1,000s to get into your new home, which would be exciting, right? Advice on choosing a lender. You want to make sure that you think about these factors. You want somebody who's communicative and competent. So you want them to answer your questions well and that they're responsive. So if you're going online to get a comparative, rate quote from, Lending Tree or something like that, they could have different parties handling your file in 3 different states. What you want is somebody that's local, that can sit with you and answer your questions in person if you want. Somebody that I've vetted and recommended, or somebody that a family or friend has vetted and recommended. Because sometimes you get a great quote online, and if they don't show up at the table with the money to close, then their rate was no good. Even if it was better than everybody else's, it didn't exist. So those are a couple factors to consider. Yeah, so cash at closing. So we need them to bring the cash to closing. And if they're out in outer space, we have no idea. There's no accountability. But if it's somebody that I've referred multiple buyers to, they're going to be way more accountable than just some random lender that you got from offline. So we talked about accountability, and then costs. So, fees are typically about $1,500, or I'll say under $2,000 for the lender's portion of the deal. And then they have competitive rates. So I'll give you a handful of lenders through my Homekeeper app. You can call 1, 2, or 3. Make sure you feel comfortable with that loan officer. Ultimately, their rates are going to be very similar. If one is offering a better rate and has higher upfront fees, we'll run a break-even analysis for you to help you decide between two great options. So buying a home isn't something to be done just because somebody says it's a great idea, or rates are low, or it's only natural. You did X, Y, and Z in your life, now you should buy a home. It's not rocket science, and it's not hard. It is something that you should consider, though. And these are some questions that I've put together so that you can think about it and make sure that you know why you want to buy. You should really have that internal deep desire to own a piece of property. If somebody else is telling you, oh, it's a great thing and the rates are low, that's not good enough. You're going to want to really you're going to want to be your own landlord. You're going to want to be able to fix things when they break, or paint your walls, or do whatever you want in your house, or you plant your roots. So that should be a real deep internal desire. What's your job situation like? So you're going to be giving the lender 2 years worth of tax returns. So you're going to want to look and see, did you have a decrease in income? Did you have an increase in income? Did you change fields? Did you change jobs? So you want to make sure your job is also feeling pretty steady. You also want to know, how much have you saved so far? It really doesn't take a lot to get into a home, but you do want to have money for the down payment and also for saving for maintenance, which is that next point. And then also, having only 1 or 2 people to bounce ideas off of in your life is perfect. If you have more than that, it's like too many cooks in the kitchen. And you don't want to, listen to weird Uncle Al on Thanksgiving who went bankrupt 3 times and lost every single property he bought. You're not going to get good advice from him. You want to go to the people in your life that give you good advice and know what they're doing. So here are some things that you can download to support yourself. If you're looking for resources about schools, here's some websites. And if you're looking for crime rates, you can look at these websites. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, you can download my KW Search app and also my Homekeeper app to get the list of all the vendors that I recommend. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And if you haven't already set up your buyer strategy session, please text or email me. My number's at the top, my email's at the top, so that we can get you started and get you into a home that you love. And I'll talk to you soon.